Alright guys, how's it going? So, we're gonna do a fairly different video today because of the fact that I know most of the videos on my channel are usually about me documenting my journey, talking about the upbringings that I've had, talking about my present life, and just trying to document that process of my journey of growing as an entrepreneur. But I've had somewhat 2 years of experience in terms of entrepreneurship, and now that I'm going into the online coaching, hybrid coaching type of model in the online space, it really consists of me sharing my knowledge and sharing the experiences that I've learned to grow as an entrepreneur and to be able to go from a few hundred followers to 40K followers in 60 days. Yes, I did that, but that was not from nothing, right? This was not from nothing. I had done this because of the fact that prior to me getting into online coaching, I had 2 years of pure experience with 2 agencies that I had ran, right? So there was a content agency where we focused on the front end of business, right? So I had learned every single thing about organic content. And then I did paid ads. So we didn't focus on the front end of things. Well, obviously we did in terms of the creatives, but our main focus with the second agency was helping medical clinics. So it was local businesses, and we were helping medical clinics get conversions, right? Get leads, get money, get all of that. So, all this came from 2 years of pure experience. And now that I was able to take that 2 years of experience and implement it into my own personal brand that allowed me to sign 5 clients, my first 5 clients in 7 days of launching my offer, it's still an achievement that I'm able to help others on. But with all of this, there still comes quite a few concerns, right? Which is the fact that, yes, I'm gonna shock you, I'm not at 10K a month yet, okay? I've probably made 2,500 this month, last month. And so, how is it that I even have the confidence to sell to my clients, knowing the fact that I'm not a major millionaire like most people would think, right? Most people would think that you would need to have such an insane transformation that it's just undeniable, right? People think that you need to be Mr. Olympia in order to do fitness coaching. People think that you need to be at millions and millions of dollars a month in order to be able to coach people on certain types of businesses. But if you're a copywriting coach, okay? If you're a copywriting coach, you're not helping people become millionaires. You're helping people get into copywriting. And these are really the concerns that come with what we call imposter syndrome, right? Thinking that you are not enough to start coaching. And I'm telling you this as somebody that is not at 6 figures. I'm saying this humbly, I'm not at 6 figures, but the reason why I have the confidence to coach to others is because I understood how to overcome this imposter syndrome, right? How do you overcome this? Because this is a big problem. This is what gets people to quit. This is what gets people to never start. This is what gets people to wait. So I wrote strat. Sorry about that. They get people to start. This is what makes people wait. And they wait too long until they never make it happen. And it all starts with this. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to overcome that, how I overcame that. And that's what got me my first 5 clients, right? My first 5 clients in terms of online coaching. Obviously, I've had other clients in the past in terms of my agency services, but we're talking about my first 5 clients for this new business that I had just launched and for this new offer that I had just launched, right? So we're gonna go over that, but I'm gonna get another pen because this one is just not okay. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've got a new pen, let's get into it. How to overcome this right here. How to overcome imposter syndrome so that you can actually start your business and so that you can actually thrive as an entrepreneur with what we call personal branding. Because the entire point of the coaching business, right, is to have a skill and to be able to turn that into a personal brand which is what I like to call literally the most powerful digital asset that you could build. The best part about this is that it literally takes no money. Okay, you don't need money to start a personal brand. You just need to start posting with the right strategies. Okay, so this is the most powerful digital asset that you could have. Right, we're gonna put a little treasure over here that glows because it's an asset. It's gonna pay you a lot if you have the right strategy. Right? So you need a skill, you need a personal brand, and you need to turn that into a coaching business, okay? Or into what I like to call hybrid coaching. So I'm not gonna explain that in this video. I'll explain it more in my free trainings later on because I'm definitely planning to make more educational videos to share more of my knowledge rather than more of my story, like I already do, right? So that's the entire thing. But people think that a skill is millions of dollars, right? People think that a skill is having a steroid type of physique, right? In order to start fitness coaching, people think that you need to be Mr. Olympia with a big chest and 6-pack. Let's do 8, whatever, right? People think that you need to be this guy in order to be qualified to start, okay? But you know what makes you qualified to start an online coaching business? This, okay? And obviously, skills do not mean confidence, okay? This is not a high value skill. What we mean by skill specifically, it needs to be a high value skill. And specifically, the only thing, I know I just said that you don't need to be qualified to do anything, but technically you do, right? And the only thing that you need to be truly qualified in order to start an online coaching business and in order to actually coach others is to have implemented it for yourself, right? This is you happy because you implemented it for yourself. To start a personal brand, you don't even need to have anything, right? Because if you don't have a skill at all, one of the best things that you could do is to start documenting your process of actually getting there. So it's the same thing with me and my YouTube channel. You know, I'm not a millionaire yet, but I'm taking that first step of documenting my journey and also sharing everything that I learned along the way. And the fact that I've already gone into that first step of having something that I implemented for myself, which was the experience that I had, and I implemented that into my personal brand, I can already start coaching because I implemented it for myself, okay? Obviously my goal is this, but you do not need to attain your goal in order to actually start coaching others, okay? You just need to have done it for yourself. You just need to have valid proof that you've done it, okay? And then the difference with the agency model is that essentially you would have to do it for others first, and you could do that by, hiring a contractor, but there's so many different flaws that come with this, coming from somebody who has run 2 agencies, right? So I'm not gonna talk about that in this video, but you need to master a skill and you need to have proof that you've implemented it for yourself. You gotta be your own testimonial in order for you to be qualified, right? And so, if you are trying to be a fitness coach, you'll be qualified if people look at you and you have a nice physique, right? The reason why I can start coaching is because people can look at my page, they can see that I have 48,000 followers. And you can literally ask anybody in my DMs, I will show you screenshots in my DMs of people saying, how the hell did you grow into that amount of following in such a short period of time, right? I have all the proof that I managed to implement all of my experience into my personal brand. So that is a skill that I've implemented for myself and that now I can, map out and implement for others. So that's how you overcome imposter syndrome, okay? It's the fact that if you implemented it for yourself, if you know what you're doing, and technically, if you have implemented it for yourself, I don't even know what to draw. If you have implemented it for yourself, you're qualified, okay? It works. If you have a skill that works, and if you're trying to offer an outcome and it has worked on you, you are qualified enough to start implementing it for others, right? And you don't need to get people to pay thousands of dollars for this, okay? You can start with charging cheap, okay? And with having guarantees that as to where, listen, if you can't deliver for your clients, you don't deserve the money, right? So you could offer guarantees, okay? For the risk-free opportunity of proving that not only did you implement it for yourself, but you are implementing it for others. Okay, and if you have a guarantee, it'll be very easy to sign clients. And that's when you can prove your worth, and that's when you get lots of testimonials, and that's when you can charge higher, and that's when you will be able to get to 6 figs or wherever you want to go, right? It starts with you, okay? You cannot coach people on fitness if you're unfit. You cannot coach people on how to build a personal brand if you're at 100 followers, right? So that's really what it is. It's just having the confidence in knowing that you did it. It's having that trust in yourself and knowing that you know what you're talking about. And it's having that solid physical proof that you did it and that it works. With that, you don't even need imposter syndrome, okay? So this is the first step. It's just having physical proof that you're able to do this, okay? And so step number 2, another thing that I'm gonna clarify to you, right? Even if, let's say, you do have a skill, right? And you've implemented it for yourself. Let's say you want to become a fitness coach, okay? And you're super jacked, and you got big chest, and you've got 9-pack, right? Or 8 or 10, whatever, okay? Let's say you got a super nice physique. And you're gonna start coaching others on it, okay? You're gonna coach this guy who's skinny, or this girl. Okay, and she wants to get jacked. Even when you start coaching her, even with your first client, it's gonna feel confusing. Even if you have that proof that, wow, I'm jacked, I'm gonna start coaching others on it, you'll always have that little side feeling of thinking, what am I even doing? You know? And I'll explain to you why, guys, because when it comes to online coaching, right, it's outside of the norm. Online coaching and online business in general is not a norm. It will be criticized on, okay? But this is just because of the traditional, social values and social expectations that people have, right? If you're trying to get into online business, then you must definitely know that the opposition of that is working a safe 9 to 5. It's having a normal life, but you don't want that. But the problem is everybody has this. So everybody around you is making you feel like this is weird, is making you feel like this is not the norm, is making you feel like this is really like out of it. And it's literally out of your comfort zone, and that's why it feels weird. So either way, you're always going to feel it, right? But it all comes with the courage of being able to overcome it. And that courage comes with the first step that I just showed you, which is physical evidence that it works, okay? Evidence, right? And then apart from this, okay, there's a lot of things in the world where people are gonna judge you, and that causes a lot of imposter syndrome cases. But apart from people that are working a 9 to 5 telling you that online business is like weird, right? You also have the other people who tell you that it's a scam, okay? But if you have physical evidence, if you have proof that you've managed to pull it off, what's the scam? There's no scam. If you've managed to do it, okay? If you've managed to do it right, if you've managed to implement it, and you have physical evidence that you did so, it's not a scam. It does not matter if it's the online coaching model. It doesn't matter if it's the agency model. If you have a skill and you've implemented it for yourself, it doesn't matter if you start an agency and you start doing done-for-you services. It doesn't matter if you have a digital product, a PDF course, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. If this works, it works. It doesn't matter what form it's packaged up in, whether it be online coaching, digital product, or an actual service, right? For those who don't know, SMMA and online coaching are very, very similar. The only difference with online coaching is that it's done with you, okay? And the reason why, and you know what, online coaching is literally somewhat SMMA, but it's done with you plus done for you. Okay, this can be considered a service because coaching is what? It's not a product, it's a service. But done for you, you can also, give out a digital product. So that's why I like, to call it hybrid coaching. This is so out of topic, but whatever, right? If you have a skill, it doesn't matter how you package it up. If you have a skill and you're able to get clients with your personal brand, there's nothing to worry about. There really is not. Okay, if you delivered it for yourself and you deliver it for others, there's no such thing as a scam. Okay, but then it comes to actually knowing that your product is good. Okay, because you could have an amazing physique, but if you are not delivering well, if you're not supporting them, if you're not giving them a customized plan, if you're not providing the right resources, then that's when it's a scam. Okay, that's where you got to be sort of careful, right? And you got to make sure that you give the best experience ever. Okay, and charging lots of money, okay, let's say $4,000 for this, is not a scam. It's just high value, and the people who don't see it as high value will call it a scam. That's inevitable, but it's not. Okay, everything is by perspective, but you got to look at the absolute facts and physical evidence. Is your product good? Does it work? Okay, then no problem, right? And it's the same thing with my coaching program. Okay, I'm helping people build a personal brand, okay, and to build an online coaching business, and to transition into going to this full time, right? And I've done this for myself. I'm not guaranteeing them 10K a month. I'm guaranteeing them 5 clients. I'm telling them, hey, if you implement all this, you can get your first 5 clients very easily. And the reason why I can do this is because I've done it for myself in 1 week. So I can most definitely know with all my heart that I'll be able to get them this in a few months' time, right? If you're genuinely starting from zero, and if you have a few hundred followers, even better. Shorten the time frame, okay? That's where it all comes down to. But even if, right, even if apart from all this, you know, you're trying to work up your way to actually being successful with online coaching, even once you're successful, you're gonna feel like you don't know what you're doing because of the fact that, you know, there's so many things that are gonna knock you down in entrepreneurship where it just messes with your brain. Like, you don't really know what you're doing. You're just following the logistics of it. You're following the absolute facts, right? And sometimes you can get mixed up and overwhelmed and feel like I have no idea what I'm doing, but you just need to follow the pattern, okay? Even if it's confusing, even if it's overwhelming, I can promise you, I feel this 99% of the time. I will admit to you, 99% of the time, I simply follow the logistics, the evidence, okay? I had closed down my agency, right? We already had clients in it. I had closed it down, and I told myself, you know, like, am I even doing the right thing? But I looked at the logistics. I had made more money. Now, hear me out when I say this. I had made more money in 7 days with all the clients that I closed than I did within the one agency that I ran for 8 months to a year. I don't remember how long it was. I had made more in 7 days with online coaching than I did with this. And I told myself, should I really close my agency? Is it a good idea? Is it going to mess everything up? Should I stick with it? But the logistics are, this clearly works better for me. And it's because of the fact that I had a personal brand, okay? And starting an agency is not a bad thing, okay? It works, it genuinely does work. But the difference is I had built this, right? I had built a personal brand. And either way, I had known that my end goal with entrepreneurship along the way, my absolute end goal was to be able to coach others. That was my dream, right? My initial goal was being able to succeed with SMMA and coach others on it. But now that I have a skill, right? Now that I have a product that I can sell, I'm not gonna wait until I get to $1 million a month to be able to coach, right? I got rid of this because it's a limiting belief. It truly is, and it is the biggest limiting belief ever, right? It gets people to quit. It gets people to never start at all. And they miss out on all the opportunities that are right there in front of them. Let's erase this. And so, one last little note here, okay? You have to ignore the noise. What is the noise? The noise is other people. Okay? It's your overthinking. This is normal. Okay? It's because you're doing something extraordinary. You are trying to make a full-time career. You're trying to make a full-time income from this, right? You're trying to make more than a doctor would in 8 years. It's extraordinary. Okay? So obviously you're gonna overthink because it's overwhelming. It's something you've never done before. It's something that other people around you have never done before. But that's why the internet is so great. It's because you'll generally be able to access people who are here telling you that it's possible, right? Who are here telling you that this is a real thing. Online business is a real thing. And even guys, I'm telling you, okay? Apart from all of this, I'm here, right? With somewhat a little bit of money, okay? And I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking with pure confidence because I know, and I've concluded with myself, that not only does my product work because it's worked for me with physical proof, but I also know that everything I'm telling you here, I will be telling you the exact same thing in 3, 4, 5, whatever, how many years when I do get to where I want to be. I will be telling you the exact same thing because it starts, okay, this is a horrible drawing, right? It starts from your brain, starts from that feeling inside of you. It all starts with you. It all starts with what you tell yourself. It all starts with what you prove to yourself, okay? And I've proved to myself in the past 2 years that I'm doing every single thing that I need to do, and I've been doing every single thing that I've needed to do every single day consistently, right? And that it's only a matter of time and consistency before it takes off, okay? I have that confidence in knowing that I put in the work. And to overcome imposter syndrome, you need to have that confidence in knowing that you implemented this for yourself and that it worked. If you're trying to become an online fitness coach, look in the mirror. Are you fit enough to coach others? You don't need to be Mr. Olympia. Are you fit? Has it worked for you? Did you change your life? Right? For me, I wanted to build my personal brand. Did I build my personal brand? Yes, I did. Okay? If you're trying to help people with a client acquisition, how many clients did you get? Do you have the stats for it? Okay, great. Right? And if you don't, then start documenting it. Okay? Start documenting your way to actually getting there. Okay? Start building your personal brand because it requires no money. It requires nothing to start a personal brand. Okay? And documenting is the biggest form of leverage. That's why I'm documenting it here. I'm literally giving you guys my mastermind millionaire plan right here. I'm documenting my life and knowing that it would be the biggest leverage for my personal brand, and knowing that if I showcase the entire process of me working here in school, talking about my millionaire plan, it'll be seen as extraordinary if when I genuinely do get there. It'll be seen as she literally has kept the same values all these years, right? She's kept the same values because I had that trust in myself and in knowing that I'm gonna make it work, and knowing that I've made it work with my skill, with my personal brand, and in knowing that my work ethic is strong. Self-confidence, or you know what? Let's say overconfidence, like other people would somewhat see it as. Me sitting here telling you that I guarantee myself to be a millionaire in my 20s, I see that as over self-confidence. Other people will see it as ego. Okay, but those are two very different things. Ego and over self-confidence are two very different things. Okay? And you need to be this. You need to be confident in yourself. That's why it's self-confidence. You don't want to have an ego. You don't want to be arrogant. You want to trust yourself enough and knowing that your work ethic is strong. Right? And you gotta prove that to yourself. So if you don't trust yourself, if you don't feel confident, it's because you haven't proved anything to yourself. It's because you haven't done the work and proven to yourself that you can make it work. So how are you supposed to prove it to other people? right? It all starts with you. I keep saying this, it all starts with you, right? So if you want to prove to others that you're going to make something work, and if you want to charge for that, you're going to have to be able to prove it to yourself first, okay? And I did that with my personal brand. That's why I'm able to charge for this, okay? So you want to be that person who is overly self-confident, okay? You don't want to go around telling people, I'm going to be a millionaire in 5 years. You want to be confident, but you also want to be extra humble because it's going to catch up to you, okay? You want to be humble, okay? If you're making 6 figures, you don't want to be throwing cash on the wall, okay? You don't want to be telling people that they're broke. You don't want to be doing all that. Sure, you can do it as a joke, whatever, but like, don't take it seriously and don't degrade others because you have more money than them. If you get to that point where you feel like that, humble yourself in knowing that there are people out there better than you. You have to be overly self-confident so that you can have the right work ethic to take advantage of the opportunities out there, right? And to be able to start an online coaching business, okay? You're gonna have the self-confidence for that. But you also wanna be humble, okay? Self-confidence is the thing that's gonna allow you to get to that level, and being humble is the thing that's gonna allow you to stay at that level, and that's gonna allow you to build even more and to actually build a solid foundation and to not screw everything up because of the fact that you think you are king, right? To think that you are queen, to think that you are at the top. This is ego, right? You don't want to be this. Let's give her a nice dress. You don't want to be this. Whatever, okay? You want to be extra humble in order to be able to keep the opportunities that you built. Don't screw it up. Don't let ego get in your way. Ego is the #1 thing that ruins everything in this world, okay? You don't want to have ego. You want to be so self-confident in your work ethic so that you can take advantage of the right opportunities and so that you can start the businesses that you want to start, okay? And so that you can talk with conviction to be able to sell to others, okay? But once you get there, you want to stay humble. There you go, guys. That is the lesson that I have for you today. And it's funny that I'm filming this in school, but you know, that's what it takes because I'm documenting my life. And I'm saying this with pure confidence. You know, me talking about my little millionaire plan, I'm not saying that you guys suck and that I'm gonna get there before you, because that's not my intention at all, right? I just trust my work ethic in knowing that in the past 2 years I've acquired the right experience to be able to implement it for myself, and I did, and I have the proof, okay? And this is not a lot. This is not a lot, okay? This is nothing. I don't go around flexing to people that I have 40,000 followers. I don't go to restaurants and tell them to give me a free booking because I have 40,000 followers, okay? I've achieved this, it's great, right? But there's always more work to do. There's always more work to do. And the work comes in being able to help others do it, okay? I don't want to consider myself a genius ever, okay? And I will never be proud of myself until, you know, I get to that point, okay? If I get to that absolute point of whatever it is, I'm telling myself that I'm right here. And that this little curve, I'm only here, okay? It's great, you can smile. That's your celebration. There's always more work to do. So you guys, that is the lesson for today. How to overcome imposter syndrome. The absolute formula is to have the proof. To have proof to yourself that your work ethic is good so that you can have the self-confidence to build a good business and so that you have the physical proof that you're able to help others do it. There you go, guys. Make sure to sub because I love you all and I will be providing more value like this. Have a good day.